Welcome to Buy Local TV, where we're promoting Michigan businesses, communities, and its people. Fellow video producer Dan Salas from Positively Michigan and myself were going over some things this morning and started talking about 9/11 and some of the tributes that we had done over the years that had, been very patriotic. We decided to put together an overview of the pieces that he and I had done, both from the 9/11 exhibit and also from the healing field at Cannonsburgh on the celebration of the 10th anniversary. Let's take a look at that now, and God bless America.
One thing we will keep honoring this day for the years to come.
We really feel that this is the Pearl Harbor of today's generation.
This display is dedicated to all those who were lost on 9/11, not just police and firemen. It's dedicated to all. And if you come through our display, you'll see we have the list of names of everyone who was lost that day. It's also dedicated to all those lost or will be lost fighting terrorism.
The victims were in airplanes or in their offices. Secretaries, businessmen and women, military and federal workers, moms and dads, friends and neighbors. Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil, despicable acts of terror. The pictures of airplanes flying in the buildings, fires burning, huge structures collapsing, had filled us with disbelief, terrible sadness, and a quiet, unyielding anger.
And he says, as I walk through there and I see the young children crying, he says, it gives me great hope for our young generation.
Once I started watching the news, just something that you could not pull yourself away from. Just the total destruction was just unbelievable.
We just sat there and it was real quiet. It was just real quiet. Nobody said anything. We just couldn't believe it. And then we watched the second plane hit, and it just got more quiet.
There for weeks afterwards, you seen everybody flying American flag. You don't see that there much anymore.
Have you forgotten?
I'm Ellie Gale, and I'm from Grand Rapids, and we're here because we want to honor the families of those who lost a loved one or friend or associate at 9/11.
My husband and I own a home for the elderly, and since 9/11 we've had a Patriotic Day every month. And we came across the concept of the healing field in Utah at a convention. And it just seemed like something that would be really well received in Michigan. And so a committee came together to make it possible. And the concept is that every flag in the field, it represents a life lost.
My name's Guy. I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I'm here today because 10 years ago this horrific event happened. And I think it's very important to never forget what happened 10 years ago, and all the people that lost their lives and what it has meant.
People forget what happened 10 years ago.
Realization of seeing 3,200 flags, and not just that they're representing flags, that those are actually for each individual person.
It's 93 rows, Flight 93. It's configured in a twin tower. There's a center aisle to it, and the 93 rows goes to 550 feet, but if you look up the slope of the hill, that's still a distance that's under where the planes would have entered the twin towers. And if you can imagine the rescue workers going that distance with their equipment, it gives you a real appreciation of what those men and women were doing.
343 firefighters. They were in the buildings, and they were around the buildings. They were doing all they could do to get people out, and they didn't hesitate. They went in. They did what they're supposed to do.
My name is Terry, and I'm from Grand Rapids, and we heard about this on the news, and it was very important for us to come out and take a look at this beautiful site.
please.
Hi, my name is Steve. I'm from Grand Rapids, and I'm out here today to show my respect, not only for the lives that were lost, but for their families.
It's emotional for me. It really is. To bring this back to reality again. Try to remember what went down.
Obviously, I'm here to represent law enforcement and the 72 officers that gave their lives at the World Trade Center, and along with 343 firefighters. But just an incredible display of compassion from people that put this together just to honor their service.
I'm Chad, and I'm partake in the student council at Rockford High School, and I just heard about what was going on down here and asked the student council teacher, Miss Abram, if I could come down and help, and she said yes, and we came down Friday and helped set up for about 3 hours, and it was pretty inspirational.
Why was this important to you? Why did you feel that you needed to come out and do this?
It just helped me get a full perspective on how many lives were lost and just how big of an event it was. It's hard to put into perspective until you see an actual visual number.
Well, thank you very much for your time,
Yep.
and thank you for what you did here.
My name is Al. I'm from Rockford, and we just decided we wanted to come out here and see all these beautiful flags, and it's really heartbreaking to see all of this.
My name is Carlene. I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I'm here today because I clearly recall 10 years ago on the day of the tragedy what I was doing and watched everything unfold. It had a tremendous impact on me, even though I didn't know people there, and I had a need to come and pay my respects tonight. And so this is very meaningful, and I think a good way to remember and then maybe move on from here.